Hi, how are you? Grandma Ray don't play. I'm Rachel. So I'm going to show you how to make I think I'm going to show you how to make pie crust from scratch first. And that's going to be this segment. And then I'll continue on the next segment and show you how to make a turkey pot pie with the pie crust. Okay? Alright, so let me get set up and then I'll show you how to make the pie crust. Shall we? Okay, be right back. Okay, so we're going to make pie crust. So what I have here is 2 cups, measuring this time, 2 cups of flour, okay? And then you need 1 teaspoon of salt. I have a teaspoon measurer here. I'm going to pour the salt in. Okay, I have 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of sugar. You can put the sugar in if you don't want. You don't have to. You can use regular sugar. I'm using equal. So 1 teaspoon equals to this 1 package. Okay, I'm putting in 1 package of equal. Alright, now we're going to mix this up in the Ninja. The Ninja is right here. Okay, so let me get this in here first. I'm putting the flour in the Ninja first. Let me see how I'm going to get this in there without spilling the whole thing. Pretty good so far. You know, the Ninja is good for making bread, mixing anything like a cake mix or cornbread, anything like that, okay? Okay, so it's in the Ninja. I'm going to put it on, lock it on. Okay, so now, let me wipe my hands. I want to mix up my dry ingredients first, so I'm going to put this on. So the way this works is you put it on and then you turn it to the left, it's a lock button, look like a padlock. Turn it to the padlock, which is to the left, okay, and that locks it on. Because if it's not on right, it will not go, okay? So here's the arrow here. You're going to put this arrow to the arrow right here on the handle, okay? Put it on there, put that down, see, I'm putting the handle down, push down to lock it on. Now it should be ready to go, okay? So the mix button is the second button on the left from the top. Second button from the top, the middle one. Okay, so I'm just going to mix this a little just to mix the sugar and the salt in with the flour. Okay, that's good. It's just for a few seconds, okay? Now, this is 1 stick of butter. So let's repeat our ingredients. We have 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, if you desire sugar, and a stick of butter, okay? I don't use margarine. I think it's very, very bad for you. Both butter and margarine is bad, but butter is a little better, okay? Less saturated fat. Okay, so we're going to put this stick of butter in here. And then we'll let the Ninja do the work. Now if you don't have a Ninja, you can mix this by hand. It's a little work, but you can do it. Okay, I'm going to break it off into little pieces. And the butter's been sitting out for about, I'd say, an hour. Okay. All in. Let me wash my hands. Okay, the key to making pie crust is you don't want to over mix it. If you over mix it, it becomes very tough. Okay, so you don't want that. So the way I solve that problem is I'm going to mix the butter in with the flour mixture without any water first. Okay, so I'm going to put this on, locking it down. I'm going to hit the mix button. Okay, as you can see, it cut off on its own. Okay, so this mix button is already preset to mix. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like. Hit this top button that says release, pull up. Okay, that's what it looks like. Okay, it's like a thick paste without any liquid. You can actually just go like that. Okay, now we got to add the liquid. Now this is the tricky part. I'm coming. Okay, so now you're going to add water. You're going to literally add just a little water. So for the sake of this example here, let me get something. Okay, this is 1/4 of a cup. Let's try it this way so that you'll know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to put just half of this 1/4. Okay, well, it's not all the way to the top. When you use a measuring cup, make sure you bring it all the way to the top. Okay, 1/4 cup of water is in. I'll lock it down. Let's hit mix. Okay, cut off. Let's see what's happening. Hey, we got pie crust. So there you go. So there's your ingredients. 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 1/4 cup of water. Okay, cold water. I got this right out the refrigerator. Okay, cold water. All right, if you don't have cold water, get some ice, put it in a glass, put the water in there, stir it up, let it get good and cold a few minutes, and then pour it in like that. Okay, 1/4 cup of water. Okay, so now we did all our mixing. So now what we want to do is take this out. Okay, so I just want to also show you this. This blade here is for mixing like bread and dough, pie crust, that sort of thing. It's a plastic blade. It has no sharp edges. I'm going to show you the other blade. This is the other blade, so you can see the difference. See? One has sharp edges and one is plastic, okay? This is the one here, the plastic, you want to use for bread, pie crust, and that sort of thing. Okay? All right. Just wanted to point that out to you. Okay, now. Ninja. Great, great tool. Okay. Alright, now. So now, I'm going to show you what it looks like. You don't knead it or nothing because you don't want it to get tough. Okay? This is it. Alright? So what we're going to do, we're going to cut this in half so we can make 2 crusts. Just cut it right in half. Okay? Alright. So here's one. I have a little problem today. This is all the flour I have left. Okay? So I hope that I can make it through. I think so. I'm going to just spread that lightly so I can use it sparingly. This is my rolling pin. Okay, this is what you use for pie crust. 1 second. Okay, so you're going to roll the roller into the pie crust to get it all on the roller like this, okay? Alright, so now here's our first batch. We're going to push that down, make it flat. Pushing it with the palm of your hand. As you push it, you'll see it spreading out on its own. Okay? Okay, now that we did that on both sides, as you've seen, I flipped it, turned it. I have flour on both sides. I'm rubbing the flour. Okay? Alright, so now I want a little more flour on my board. The reason why is when you roll it out, the part that's in the middle, it doesn't have flour on it. So you don't want it to stick. So you roll out both directions. Take your hand, press down. All directions. Press up. Press up. Press out. Okay. When you think you got enough to fit your pan, in this case, this is my pan, so as you can see when I put it there, I have excess crust around it, which means that that should be plenty to come up on the sides. You see that? Oh wait, you don't see that. I have the camera up too high. Shame, shame on me. Okay, let me show you the rolling part again, because you missed that. Wait a minute. Okay. So you missed the rolling part because I didn't know the camera was up too high. So what I did is I had my hand, see this, on the roller, and I'm pushing out, pushing pressure down on it, coming out on all sides. You roll every direction, okay? Alright. So here you go. See? I'm going to put the pan here, and if you see you have pie crust around the edge of the pan when you just do your little eye measurement, then you know you're good, okay? So we're good. So now you're going to take your roller and you're going to put some flour around it again, okay? Now we're going to sit it here. We're going to pull up from the edge like that. You see what I did? I rolled the crust over to the edge of the roller, and now we're going to roll all the way to the end. Leave it there. Put the cake pan there. In my case, I'm using a cake pan, but if you have a pie pan, use a pie pan. It's okay. Okay, so now you're going to start at the edge and roll back out. Okay? Don't worry about it. If you see some holes, I'm going to show you how to fix the holes. Push down so that it drops down in the bottom of the pan. Okay, see that? Okay, we have us a bottom layer inside the pan. Okay, now you're going to take a butter knife and you're going to go take the knife and you're going to hug the edge of the outer of the part of the pan. Like that. Sort of like you're taking slicing on the edge, okay? You're going to see some holes. Don't worry about it. We're going to fix that. Okay. Now, when we did that, you can see we have a hole right here, right? With no crust there, right? And a few more spots, okay? So, start with your biggest hole first. Take the excess that you cut off and patch. Put it there, push down on the edges and on the bottom to make it one. Okay, cut off the excess, move the excess to the next spot that needs it, and so forth until you get all the pie crust around the edges of the pan. Okay, I got a spot over here. Cut that off. And I got a spot right here I got to patch up. Cut the excess off. Okay, we're looking good so far. I'm almost there. Got a few more patches to do. Okay, we're going to cut this excess off. Okay, good job. We're all done with the top bottom part of the crust. Now we'll have to wait to do the top crust when we fill it, okay? So I just wanted to show you that part. I'm going to end this segment and then you can go on to the next segment and I'm going to show you how to make a turkey pot pie with this crust, okay? Alright, so let me wash my hands. Okay, let me let you get a view. How about that? Huh? Homemade pie crust. Wow. Okay. So, let me conclude this segment. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. That is one for the books, okay? That will also be included in my cookbook that I am currently writing. And you can go on to the next segment so I can show you how to make a turkey pot pie with that pie crust, okay? And I'll show you how to do the top crust, okay? And then we're going to cook it all in the air fryer oven. Yes, okay? Alright, so let me give you the word of the day. Okay, so it's raining outside, alright? It's not a good day to go out shopping and doing errands and stuff like that. No, it's not a good day for that, okay? Because, you know, you're going to be running to the car and all that. Just stop it, okay? So take the time and maybe do some house cleaning. You know the baseboards, they have the dust on them. You know, get that dust off. You know, get the corners of the floor and stuff like that. Just pick one room one room at a time, okay? If you just clean one room at a time or one half of a room at a time, you can accomplish a lot, okay? So maybe one day you do the kitchen, maybe another day you do half of the bathroom, maybe another day you do the other half of the bathroom, and so forth and so on. And if you keep doing this, within 2 weeks you would have a lot done, and then it'll be a lighter cleanup later on. Okay, this is Grandma Ray Don't Play. That's a good word of the day. I enjoyed you. Please subscribe, share the video. Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye.